Hi, and welcome back to my little series. This week's step 11. Before we jump in, confession time, I think. So I've been sober from prescription medication for 6 years. I've been sober, I haven't had a drink for 16 years, but I went out on prescription medication, as you guys know. This week, my dog, Oliver, you might know Oliver, he's the blind pug. He's been having anxiety problems, and we took him to the vet, and the vet gave him Xanax, and that was the substance that I went out on. That was the first thing I used that took me out 6 years ago. It took away 10 years of sobriety. So my default setting as an addict is dangerous. If I don't arrest that mental obsession with drinking and using on a daily basis, my default setting when I wake up without any work or without any mental defense is to use. No matter how long I've got sober, and no matter what devastation using caused in my life before, no matter that I lost relationships, lost jobs, lost houses, lost my health, ended up in hospitals, jails, institutions from using, my first instinct when I realised there's Xanax around, first thought, use that Xanax. Isn't that mental? Like, I lost everything from using Xanax because it led on to using Oxycontin, Vicodin, led on to all the synthetic heroin, but it started with Xanax. So even though that happened, and even though that was only 6 years ago, and even though I remember Laura leaving me, ending up in a very rough rehab with people who were like street drunks, thinking, what the fuck, how have I got to this point? Knowing all that, bearing all that in mind, when Oliver gets Xanax, my first thought is, I need to use that Xanax. And it's cunning, baffling and powerful, they say, this disease, because it uses every cunning little thing it has against me. Once that thought goes in there, I want to use that Xanax, then there's a whole load of other thoughts that quickly come back. Like, they say that all the time you don't use, your addiction is still there. It's doing press-ups in the corner, or it's a tiger that's just getting bigger and bigger. Even though I'm not playing with that tiger every day, it's in a cage, I'm not using, it's getting bigger. And that's what happened to me 6 years ago. I had 10 years of sobriety, and I thought I can use prescription drugs. Within a month, my life was shit. It took a month for me to get addicted. No, that's not true. It took a week for me to get addicted. It took a month for me to lose everything. So my first thought, when I know that Xanax is in the building, is I need to use that Xanax. My second thought is, how do I keep it secret from everyone? Literally, my second thought is, I won't tell Laura. I'll keep it under control this time. It'll be fun. It'll be a solution, because life's difficult, remember. Without a solution, if I haven't been going to meetings, and I haven't been going to enough, if I'm not doing the step work, and I've let that slide a bit this week, first thought, use the Xanax, lie. And that's where my head went, because I haven't been spiritually fit. I haven't been as connected to the program as I have, and talking to you guys has been an amazing lifeline for me, so thank you. You made this possible for me to be able to talk to you about this today. So don't tell Laura, don't tell these guys. You can still do videos. I even thought you could still finish off your 12-step videos high. That's how fucking insane this addiction is. I mean, just the deceit, the level of deceit and the level of self-destruction is insane, and it's scary. It's so scary that my head went there. So I had the bottle in my hand, and I literally thought, I'm going to take one of these. It's like I had a gun in my hand. Literally, it's like I had a gun in my hand and went, I'm just going to shoot myself because maybe I won't die. Remember that thing I told you about? If you put a gun to an alcoholic's head and a glass of whiskey in front of the alcoholic and say to the alcoholic, if you drink that whiskey, I'm going to shoot you. And the alcoholic's first thought is, I wonder if I can get a buzz quick enough before the bullet goes into my brain. That's me yesterday. The bottle in my hand going, I could take one of these and no one will know. Like, this time my life won't go to shit. This time I'll control it. What speaking to you guys, because for me speaking to you guys is connecting me to the program. And also from these videos, a few people from the program that I've known have reached out, which has been amazing. So I feel a bit more connected. So anyway, because I have this level of connection and I'm doing the steps with you, I really feel this is why. And because I'm still connected to the program, we still do gratitude lists. Me and Laura still pretty spiritual. I think because of step 11, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, step 11 is what made me say yesterday, literally yesterday, I'm going to tell Laura about this, because I was about to do something really stupid, I think, but I had, because I'm talking about the program, because I'm talking to other alcoholics, Laura and other people in the program. What I should have done is called my sponsor, but I don't have one at the moment, so that's bad for me. But even without a sponsor, being in this program, talking to you guys, this is the way it works, because I'm connected. Something else took over, and it wasn't me, it was my higher power, because on my own I would have taken those pills for sure. So I said, I'm going to tell Laura about them. And before that ever thought could come in, I called her and said, look, Xanax in the house. Will you take care of it? And she was like, cool, yeah. She didn't think it was a big problem. And I was like, it was amazing I mean, she's probably going to see this, but I didn't tell her, how close. The thought was, I was like, yeah, because, you should just take them, because, I had a problem in the past, probably going to, I didn't make a big deal of it, but it was a big deal. So sorry, I'm going to have to make amends and say, sorry, I didn't tell her. But no, it's just addicts we use, that's what we do. Without a program, that's what we do. What does a drug addict do? Drug addict uses drugs. What am I going to do without a program? I'm going to use drugs. And the sad thing about it is, it doesn't matter if I've Alfie, my marriage, my job, talking to you guys, having you guys, making content for you guys, all that goes out the window, because I'm hardwired to use drugs, and they are the most important thing. And the only defense I have against the first using, the only defense against I have the first drink, is these 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous. So the way step 11 helped me is, step 11 is sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood him, praying only for knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry that out. So, as I've said before, your higher power is of your own making. For me, actually, it is God, and I'm not a conventionally religious program, but when it comes to the steps, I do choose to call my higher power God. So I do pray every day. It's kind of personal to talk about this, and a lot of people I know don't like to talk about it, but I feel very close to you guys, and I want you guys to get some benefit from this. So I just tell you what I do. I'm not saying you have to do it. You should speak to a sponsor or a mentor or whoever to work out your thing. My thing won't necessarily work for you. You may not believe the same thing as me, and that's fine. This program works no matter what you believe. It really does. Like, I've known atheists get multiple years sober with this program. A few people have asked me, do I have to believe in God? You absolutely don't for this to work. In fact, I'd say in LA, probably most people don't, that I know of, and they've got multiple years of sobriety, but they've made this program work with little tweaks. So for me, I do believe in God, so I pray to God twice a day, in the morning and in the evening, every day. And I feel like that has stopped me doing things like using yesterday. My prayer is very simple. I'm not saying you should do it. It's just what works for me, because I'm not very clever and I need things to be very simple. It's literally thank you and a few things I'm thankful for. Help, if anything anything I'm having problems with, I need help with. And wow, just appreciating the magnitude of life and the beauty of life. So thank you for Alfie, thank you for Laura, thank you for you guys. I literally say thank you for our audience and thank you for our fans, because without you we wouldn't be able to we wouldn't be doing this. We wouldn't be able to do this as a daily thing. And so you guys are always in there. Just trying to think what it was this morning. My health, basic things like that. Being able to, we're looking at new houses. Thankful that I'm able to look for a new house, because the family's growing. So thank you for the new baby. Help with business stuff. Sometimes I feel I'm not the best with business, so I feel like I need help from my higher power with that. So I say, please help me with business and learning about business and learning to be a better business person, because we're running a business, and I feel like I should be learning every day and becoming better at that. And just wow, is just this morning I thought about Alfie and how beautiful he is, and just sort of he's cuddling his little teddy last night, and that was my wow this morning. Just amazing. Like, no human power that I know of could have created something so beautiful as Alfie. I mean, every day he does something that is just instinctive to him. Like, he kisses all his animals every day. Every single animal gets a kiss. We didn't teach him that. Where does that come from? So for me, that's like, wow. For me, that's God to me. So I say thank you. And I say, wow, for Alfie and his crazy little face. So that's my prayer every day. Meditation, Laura's great at meditation. I'm not so good at it. I need to get better at meditation. But meditation, I used to do 20 minutes twice a day, and I felt great when I did that, but I just haven't recently. That's something I go in and out of. So meditation, I know I resist it as well, but it really works. Someone said to me once, prayer is asking and meditation is listening. Also, I try not to specifically ask for things to go my way, because this step is also about praying only for knowledge of God's will for you and the power to carry that out. So I used to ask for specific things, like specific jobs. It never really worked, because now I realise, or I think that wasn't God's will for me. Yeah, there's no point for me asking for specific things, because I don't necessarily know if that's in God's will or not for me for that particular day. So step 11 is about daily prayer and meditation. That's all it really is. Just conscious contact with the higher power. So it's about taking that little time, isn't it, for just reflection. That's all it is. But this step is crucial, because sometimes I feel like step 11 is the only step I'm doing consistently. And even that works. So, I love you guys a lot. And thank you, especially this week, because that yesterday could have been a life ruiner. And me just talking to you guys keeps me connected. And I know you guys are in the same position as me, because if you're watching these, you probably struggle with addiction. So thank you guys for keeping me sober this week again. And let me know any questions you have in the comments underneath, or Twitter, Stephen Hilton 23 Twitter. So yeah, I'll answer some questions next week. This week I don't want it to be too long a video, and I know I wanted to tell you and sort of confess to what happened, so I used up a little bit of time with that. So I'll jump back into the questions again next week. Step 12. Love you guys. Thank you.